Babies, we are better than this. We are better than wearing bonnets out in public, okay? It's giving, I don't care about myself. It's giving ghetto.
Okay, the reason I started sleeping with silk bonnets is because I know it has a lot of benefit. It locks in your hair moisture. It helps not break your split ends. Keeps your hair glossy. There's not a lot of friction. This is the bonnet that I used to sleep in, but it literally fell off all the time. So I just gave up and I never used bonnets for a while. And then my mom got me this one off TikTok. It's definitely upgraded how I've woken up every morning. But yeah, if you want to upgrade your hair routine, definitely get a silk bonnet.
Stop wearing your bonnet in the airport, okay? It's travel season and it's time to get into some airport etiquette, starting with the dress code.
What about wearing something that protects your hair out in public makes you ghetto? Please elaborate.
I love it when people say it's ghetto to wear your bonnet in public. You know what's ghetto in public? Smell like a hot bag of ass.
I'm going downstairs to grab some packages, but first I'm going to take off my bonnet because I'm very demure, I'm very mindful. I don't leave my apartment with the bonnet on. I'm very mindful, I'm very demure. I'm not like you other girls.
This video is for anyone with hair. If you're bald, hit the door. You can keep scrolling. This is a satin bonnet. Bonnets can be worn by anyone that has hair, whether it's coily, kinky, curly, straight, wavy, thin, fine, short, medium, long, whether it's extensions, human or fake, wigs, anyone with hair, you need to be wearing a bonnet to sleep, okay?
The only reason wearing a bonnet outside of the house is called ghetto is because white people don't wear bonnets.
Tell them, girl. That's the only reason why it's considered ghetto.
So today I want to have a little chat about something that's been on my mind lately, and that is the topic of bonnets. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Those soft, comfortable head coverings that many of us love to wear, especially when we're just lounging around at home or getting ready for bed. But before we dive in, I want to make one thing clear. I get it. I truly do. I understand the appeal of wearing a bonnet, especially for those of us who are taking care of our hair, keeping it protected, or just feeling cozy. I agree with wearing bonnets. They serve a real purpose. Not only are they practical, but they are comfortable and they've become a part of my routine. I mean, who wouldn't want to slip on a bonnet after having a very long day to keep your hair fresh or just to keep everything in place? It's a small act of self-care, and honestly, who wouldn't be on board with that? But here's the thing, while I agree with wearing bonnets, I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you right now. When it comes to wearing bonnets out in public, I'm not so sure. Actually, let me be honest. I don't think it's the best look. And before you roll your eyes or click away, just hear me out just for a little second, okay? Maybe a minute. Just bear with me.
Let him cook.
Let's talk this through like we would sitting down together over some coffee or some tea. Something. Because this isn't just about bonnets. It's about how we present ourselves, how others perceive us, and why that still matters, whether we like it or not. First impressions, that's it. No, I'm kidding. You know, they say you only get one chance to make a good first impression, and I've got to admit that's true. Whether we like it or not, people do judge us based on how we look when they first see us. It is simply human nature, and it's not always fair, but it's the reality we live in. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we should be obsessed with what other people think, but I do understand that there is a balance to be struck between expressing ourselves and understanding the impact our appearance has on those around us. Before I ramble anymore, let's talk about bonnets specifically. Originally, bonnets were designed for a particular purpose: keeping our hair intact, preventing breakage, preserving our styles overnight. But when we step out in public wearing the bonnet, the message it sends can be just a little different. And before you even say it, I've heard it already. Oh, I don't care what people think, but let's be real for a second. We do care. We care about how we're perceived at work, by our friends, and even by strangers. And in some ways, that's not a bad thing. It's part of how we navigate society. Whether you disagree or agree with me on this, if you wear your bonnet out in public, it gives off an impression that you are lazy and that you don't care about your own appearance. I know that's not true for everybody that wears bonnets. Plenty of people wear bonnets just simply because they're comfortable, or they have a quick errand to run and don't feel like doing their hair. I understand it, like I said, but the unfortunate reality is that not everybody sees it that way. To some people, including myself, it looks unkempt, like you didn't take the time to get ready before stepping out the door. And that's a problem because first impressions, they stick. I'd like for you to think about the last time you've met someone new. How they looked probably shaped your opinion of them before they even said a word. Now, maybe they were dressed very well and you thought, wow, they really have it together. Or maybe they were looking just a little bit disheveled and you were wondering if they had a rough day. That is the power of first impressions in their simplest form. They shape how we're seen and, to an extent, how we're treated. Now, when you wear a bonnet in public, you're making a statement whether you intend to or not. You're literally saying, this is me, take it or leave it. And while there's something admirable about that level of confidence, it's also worth considering the context. In a casual setting, like hanging out with your friends, maybe it doesn't matter as much. Honestly, I'd say it doesn't matter if you guys are having sleepovers, okay? But in other settings like work, interviews, or even just day-to-day interactions, how you present yourself can make a huge difference. Before I forget this point, I'm gonna make one thing clear. Caring about how you look is not shallow, like at all. It's not about being vain. It's about self-respect and, to a certain extent, self-love. When you put just a little bit of effort in how you look, you're sending out a message that you value yourself as well as the people you're interacting with. I know this part might sting just a little bit, but we're gonna be honest and talk about fashion for a second. Specifically talking about what's considered tacky or unkempt. And trust me, I'm not here to bash anybody's personal style. We all have our off days. But there's a difference between having an off day and consistently presenting yourself in a way that gives off the wrong impression. Take bonnets, for example, and I've seen it on TikTok, so I will address it now. Regardless of your race, regardless of your background, regardless of your gender, when you wear a bonnet in public, it can come across as tacky. And don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily about the bonnet itself. It's about what it represents. Bonnets are associated with bedtime, at least for me. It's associated with bedtime, relaxation, and being at home. And when we take that out into the world, it just looks tacky. I said what I said. And spoiler alerts, it's not just the bonnets, okay? We're gonna talk about the pajamas as well. We have all seen people out and about in pajama pants. And let's be honest, sometimes it works. But more oftentimes than not, it looks like someone just rolled out of bed and couldn't be bothered to change. And in some cases, that is true. There is a line between casual and careless, and that's what we're really talking about here. Now, when I talk about tacky, I'm not trying to shame anybody. It's about recognizing the impact of your own choices and how you're perceived. Now, I want to dive a little deeper into this whole pajama pants and bonnet debate because I think it's truly interesting how fashion plays a huge role in how we're perceived. Now, pajama pants, that is a hot topic in my eyes because during the holidays, we see these super cute, well-coordinated pajama sets, and honestly, they can be a little stylish, just a little bit, if they are done right. Putting the holidays aside, people that wear them every other day, they're always old, always faded, maybe a little crusty, maybe a little dusty, and they're overall what? Tacky. I don't want to talk too much about pajamas because this video is about bonnets. Here's the thing, there are other alternatives. If you want to cover your hair, there are so many stylish head wraps as well as scarves that can help you get the job done. And the options I just gave you guys can actually enhance your outfit, making you look all put together and stylish while still keeping your hair protected. Before I move any further, let's get into some commentary. Now, this first video is her responding to people that always say bonnets in public are ghetto and unprofessional. She says, but here's a whole doctor saving lives, helping people while at work in her bonnet. Why? Because she's not bothered or bothering anyone. Y'all need to get over yourself. Boy, do I have a story for you. The cap that she is wearing is called a bouffant. You can look it up right now, a scrub hat, whatever you want to call it, a bouffant scrub cap. For one, it is not a bonnet. And secondly, I can bet you 110% she does not go home and lay down in her scrub cap.
Stop wearing your bonnet in the airport, okay? It's travel season and it's time to get into some airport etiquette, starting with the dress code. Why are you wearing your bonnet, pajama pants, bedroom slippers in the airport? That stuff is reserved for the house, okay? We don't want to see that in the airport. I'm not saying you need to come with your face beat and high heels on, but I am saying you need to care about how you present yourself to the world. And why are we wearing inappropriate clothing? See-through shirts, booty shorts. Why are you exposing somebody's child to your booty cheeks at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday? Okay, and please don't think you're getting an upgrade with that on, because the airlines do have the right to tell you no. I want us to do better. It's 2024. Let's care about how we look. Let's care about how we present ourselves to the world.
Babies, we are better than this. We are better than wearing bonnets out in public, okay? It's giving, I don't care about myself. It's giving ghetto. We are better than this. Let's opt instead to wear a hat, okay? That's the most... Now you got me out here looking like Conehead, okay? By the time I get about this car and walk inside that store, that hat is going to be to the back. The bonnet holds it down, okay? So don't judge people in between hair appointments or going out wearing, bonnets to run quick errands if you don't want me looking like this. Thank you.
I love it. I love her personality. It is a top tier. Now, bonnets, as I've mentioned, are really meant for sleeping, for keeping your hair in place, reducing friction on your pillow and all that good stuff. To put it simple, when we wear them in public, it's almost like we're blurring the lines between private and public spaces. Now, hats, on the other hand, are designed for public wear. Don't get me wrong. She would look like a turtle wearing that hat. And I understand the whole being in between hairstyles, whatever the case is, but that is why I said headscarves. And plus, with a head wrap, you can wear it outdoors, you can wear it at the house. Now, don't go to sleep with it. And if you do go to sleep with a head wrap on, don't wear the same one. That's just my personal opinion. Let's keep going.
I love it when people say it's ghetto to wear your bonnet in public. You know what's ghetto in public? Smell like a hot bag of ass.
I mean, smelling in public is unpleasant, but so is wearing a bonnet. But let's keep going.
At 3 p.m. in the day. And we see you at the store, we know you ain't left the house until you got to the store. Why do you still smell like this? That's ghetto. You know what else is ghetto? Yellow teeth with strings. These niggas don't brush their teeth, but they come to work like that. That's ghetto. You know what's even more ghetto-er than wearing your bonnet in public? Bringing your child in public with dirty ass feet, no socks, no shoes. Why? But I'm ghetto because I'm black and I just want to protect my hair with some silk. Like, I just want to put some silk on my head, and that's just what I'm wearing. I guess I'm ghetto. I don't know.
All the things that you listed are all unpleasant, but that does not defeat the purpose that bonnets, let's still stick to the topic now, that bonnets are tacky. That's it. Well, bonnets out in public are tacky. Let's not get it twisted, okay? You can say anything under the sun, but let's stick to the topic. See, I have that problem, and I still work on that problem where I'll say everything and anything but the topic in place. We're talking about bonnets. They're tacky out in public. It's not because you're black. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with looking like you're being lazy. And that's it. Let's carry on.
What about wearing something that protects your hair out in public makes you ghetto? Please elaborate. That makes no fucking sense. Y'all want anything and everything that associates with black women to be ghetto. Y'all make everything that associated with black women ghetto. Like, do y'all not realize? Why should black women have to get up, get glammed up every single day? Other races don't have to do that. They can just put their hair up. We can't. Which is why we wear bonnets in public. We in Walmart. We're in Walmart. Do you think anybody gives a about how they look in Walmart? White, black, red, big? No, they don't care. Fucking groceries. How the fuck do we get called ghetto and we didn't even do shit? We just fucking exist, bitch. All you did was look at me and I'm fucking ghetto. I didn't even say shit to you, bitch. You just called me ghetto because I got on a fucking bonnet.
Once again, I said what I said. It doesn't matter the race. It doesn't matter if you even going to Walmart. It doesn't matter what you're doing. A bonnet is tacky. No matter how y'all try to put it.
Bro, I wore my bonnet all day today and nobody noticed. You know why? Because I'm creative. A win is a win. A win is a win. I wore my bonnet all day today and nobody clocked me.
You know why nobody clocked you or even batted an eye? Because you had your bonnet covered up with a head wrap. Nobody was clocking you because nobody saw it. Only you knew you had that bonnet on. What do you guys think of that last video though? Now before I wrap it up, let's not forget the hygiene aspect of all of this. Bonnets are great for sleeping, like I've said, but wearing them out in public can lead them to getting dirty, which isn't really the goal you're trying to reach if you're trying to keep your hair clean and protected and fresh. Hats and head wraps, on the other hand, can be easily cleaned as well as rotated out. If you guys liked the video, make sure to leave all your comments and all your opinions down below, and I will see you guys on the next one.